Hello, lovely people. How are you doing today? I hope everything is fine. I hope all is well. It's your girl Francesca again, and today we are going to sew this trending cargo pants. Okay, so I'm going to be using Ankara to sew this dress. This Ankara is complete 6 yards. I've not removed anything yet. It's complete 6 yards. Okay, so let's get on with it. We start by folding our fabric into two, just like this. Mind you, this fabric is so busy, so I'm going to be identifying the back and the front. Okay, so that's it. And if you're seeing this channel for the first time, please kindly subscribe, like, share. Okay, now I'm going to be minusing 2. Remember, we have to remove this label because it doesn't speak good of a tailor. When you're sewing, make sure you always remove the label. Okay, don't make it visible on your customer's dress. So this is me cutting it off. Okay, and that is done. So now we're going to be placing our tape and minus 2 inches. That 2 inches is for band. Okay, now I'm getting my length. The length I'm working with is 45 inches. Okay, and then now is the hip line and the crotch line. The hip line is 11 inches. That is what I'm marking. And the next is the crotch line, 12 inches from waist. That's what I'm marking as well. Now we're going to get our crotch length. The crotch length is your hip divided by 16. Then you add 0.5. Whatever you get, you go ahead and mark your hip, your crotch length. So mine was 0.3. So I've gone ahead to mark it. So this is me covering it. Okay. So if you have watched this video to this point, kindly give it a thumbs up. Okay, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Now, because this is a palazzo trouser, it's a free trouser, we're not going to be measuring the thigh, the knee, the ankle, and all of that. We're only taking measurement from the hip and the waist, okay? So that is why I ruled the straight line from that crotch edge all the way down, okay? So this is me cutting it out. So this is the front part of the trouser. So I'm just cutting it all the way down to the length of my trouser. So when it gets to palazzo trouser, the only measurement you need is basically your hip and your waist. Okay, now I'm folding the remaining fabric to cut out the back of the trouser. I'm going to place the front one on it and trace it out. So remember to always cut out the label of your dress. If you're sewing with Ankara, always cut out the label. So this is me cutting out the label before I start. So there was a mistake here. The back is supposed to be higher than the front because of the bottom part, the bottom side. Okay, you know, like I said, this fabric is very busy. That's why I made that chalk to identify the back and the front. So like I was saying, the back is supposed to come up higher. So because of the back bum bum, where the bum bum will sit, you know, the back bum bum is usually curvier and all. So because I made this mistake, now I'm going to correct it. Okay. So this is me identifying the back and front of the dress because it's a very busy Ankara. That's why I'm marking the chalk to know the back, the right side and the wrong side. So now this is the front part. I'm going to reduce the crotch. The back crotch is supposed to be longer than that of the front. So I'm just reducing the front by 0.5 inches. You know, just 0.5, very small. So that's why I labeled it front. So at the back crotch will be, will not be exact 3.0 inches. Now I'm going to sew the crotch all the way down, okay? And this is it. I'm gonna have to do that. So this is the front part of the trouser, or the palazzo trouser. This is it now, okay? I'm going to get the bind, the 2 inches bind we minus earlier. Now I'm going to measure the front part just like so to know the length of the bind. I'm gonna have to measure it. So this is me cutting out the bind now. Remember, it's 2 inches that we removed when we were cutting the bind. So you can do 2.5 inches so that you can use that half for sewing, as in for attaching it to your trouser. So remember the length I measured was 22 inches. So I just did 23 just in case. Okay, so this is it, 2 inches. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is in the 2 inches form or 2 inches measurement. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Again, if you have watched this video up to this point, please kindly give a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share. Just do something, okay, so that YouTube can recommend my video. Yeah, so that's it. This is the band for the front part of the trouser. Now for the back part, I've not joined the crotch yet, so it's still separate. I'm going to also measure it. It is 13 inches, okay? So 13 plus 2 now is supposed to be 26 inches. Sorry, 13 times 2. Or 13 plus 13 is supposed to be 26 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and get 26 inches. I'm going to add extra 1 inch, make it 27. Just in case, okay? So this is me cutting it out. Now remember I said there was a mistake in the back, and when I was tracing it out, the crotch side is supposed to come up higher than the front part. So I'm going to, do it here now. I'm going to correct it here. So this is the front. I just place the front on top of it. Remember the front is 2 inches, but the back part is not 2 inches, but it's going to be 2 inches later. So I had to place the front part of the bind on the back one, and I'm trying to get the middle of the bind. I'm trying to get the middle of the band, okay? So this is the middle. I've gone ahead to get that. Now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to trace it from beginning of the front band and then curve my hand like this. Just exactly what I'm doing. Then the other side, I'm also going to start from the beginning of the front band and then shift my hand outward to get that curve, okay? I'm doing this because I want the middle of the band, of the back band, to come up higher, okay? Because the back bum is rounder and curvier, so the crotch is always supposed to be longer than the front crotch. So this is me trying to make it equal with the other side. I've already removed the front band. The front band is not on this now. This is the whole back band. So this is what I'm talking about now. The middle is now higher. Okay? The middle is now higher. So I'm going to divide it into 2. So that one part of the back trouser will have 1 band. The other part will have 1 band. And the reason is because I'm still going to attach the zip allowance. If not, I would have just done a straight 1 band like that and attach it just like I did for the front. So this is it. I'm going to go ahead and divide it into 2 now. So I'm just still tracing it out because I noticed that it's a little bit high. So this is me dividing it into 2 equal halves. So one part of the back trouser will have 1 band. The other part of the back trouser will also have 1 band. And this is it. These are the back of the trouser. I'm going to place 1 band on this side and 1 band on the other side. So I'm going to place it this way and sew. Okay? I repeat the same thing on the other one. Place it this way and sew. Okay, the band seems to be higher. That curve part seems to be a little bit high, so I'm going to just reduce it just like so. I'm going to reduce it a little bit. So that has been done. I'm gonna have to reduce it just to trim it out a little. So I'm gonna have to attach it to my trouser. You can see it, right? I'm gonna have to attach it, and you can see the middle part is a little higher than the sides. Okay, I'm going to sew it together, and I'm going to join the crotch now. And here it is, guys. I've gone ahead to join the crotch. Okay, now the back crotch is now longer than the front crotch. Okay, now this is that middle. See, the middle is longer and it now curved down to meet the 2 points, the 2 inches. Now this is the front part. Look at the front part now. You see that the 2 inches of the front part is rhyming with the 2 inches of the side of the back part. It's only the middle part of the back that is high. So I hope you get what I did now, okay? So the next thing now is to cut the pocket, the cargo pocket. So here the measurement I use, I think 7 inches length, 7 inches width for the pockets. So you can make yours bigger anyway. You can make yours bigger. Okay, 7 inches length, 8 inches width. You can make yours bigger, depends on what you want. I'm going to cut another one because it's supposed to be 2. One on one side of the trouser and one on the other side of the trouser. So I'm just trimming it out to get a perfect shape. So this is 8 and this is 7.5, 7.5, yeah. So this is in second part of the fabric. I'm going to go ahead and trace it out with the first one. Please pardon my assistant. Oh my god. Again, if you have watched this video to this point, oh my god, you are a darling. And you haven't liked, you haven't commented, you haven't subscribed, kindly do so. I love your comments, please. They give me so much joy. They make me feel like I'm on the right track, okay? Just drop your comment, okay? Thank you. So that YouTube can recommend my videos, okay? Thank you. So here are the 2 pockets. Now I'm going to get the pocket cover. So I'll measure it is 7.5 inches. I'm going to get the pocket cover. You know that thing that stays on top of the pocket to cover it or something. That's what I'm going to get now. Even though I measured 7.5 inches, doesn't mean you're going to cut extra 7.5 inches. You can give it extra 1.5 inches as well, or 1 inches, because that cover is usually longer than the pocket itself. So I'm going to have to do that. I'm also going to repeat it on another fabric to have 2 of it because it's 2 pockets. So I just folded it to make this funny curve shape. It's not compulsory, it's totally optional. I've done that. So 2 of them, I'm going to sew and sew the other side and then open it up. I'm just identifying the front and the back because this fabric is so busy. So the area I marked chalk is the back. So I'm going to sew here and sew and then turn it over to the right side. Okay, they have been done. I'm gonna have to sew them. I've turned them over to the right side. Okay, so this is how I'm going to be placing it on my fabric, on the trouser. So you can see I've folded the edges as well and opened them and opened it up. I folded the edges so it won't be rough. Now to our trouser, we're going to go ahead and first of all try to close it up, like try to shape it. Okay. So starting from the waist, whatever your round circumference of waist is, you minus the extra 2 inches allowance that we added, and then you go ahead and mark. The same thing with the hip. Whatever your hip circumference is, you go ahead, divide it by 2 rather. Even the waist, divide by 2 this time, no longer by 4. And whatever you get, you go ahead and mark. So I just made that line to know where the length of my hip line is. Okay, no, this wasn't the side I used when I was cutting it. I used the other part of the trouser. That's why I have to just make this line, so I'll be on the right track. Now I've joined the waist to the hip. I've joined the waistline to the hip line. So I just want to draw the line straight to the length. I want to draw it straight down to the length of the trouser. Remember, the only area you're shaping is the waist and the hip. The thigh, the knee, and the ankle, you're not getting those because it's a palazzo cargo pants. So I just read a straight line downwards all the way to the length of the trouser. The same thing with the other side. Just read it straight all the way down. That has been done. Now we are going to pin that side we marked with our chalk. We're going to pin all of it down, only the sides this time. The inner thigh, we haven't come to that side yet. We will be coming to that side very soon. So I'm also going to pin the other side that I also made a chalk mark. And I'm pinning them all the way down to the full length of the trouser. I'm done pinning them, so I'm going to just sew it all the way down, leaving the middle parts. I'm only sewing the sides where I marked chalk, but you see that middle part, the inner thigh part, I'm leaving it open for now. Okay, I'm going to tell you why later. I'm gonna head sew. I've sewn that. Okay, I've joined it, so I'm just trimming out the excess allowance. I'm done cutting it out. Now onto the next. Remember the middle part we haven't closed up yet. I'm going to turn it over from there. I'm gonna head to turn it over to the right side from there. So now here's what I'm going to do. From there, I'm going to open up one side of the trouser from there, from that side. Okay, I will spread it like so. I'm gonna have to spread it. Now I'm going to use my tape to measure the length from the waist to where I want the pocket to start. So I've taken my tape from waist to 16 inches. So I've used my chalk to identify it. Now I'm going to place this pocket there, just like so, and get the pocket cover. Okay, I'm just trying to place it correctly. I'm going to sew here and sew here and sew here and sew here. But first, I'm going to use my pin to hold it together so it won't move. If you have watched this video to this point, please kindly give a thumbs up, like, share, comment, do something, okay? Just do something. Thank you. And if you haven't already subscribed, kindly subscribe, please. Thank you. I'm done pinning it. Okay, I'm also going to go to the other side of the trouser, the other leg, and spread it just the way I did. Okay, so I'm test running it to be sure it's waist. The waist is from waist to 16 inches. So the same thing I'm doing for the other leg of the trouser. (16 inches as well). I've placed the other pocket on there, and with the pocket cover I've placed it there as well. I'm also going to use my pin to hold it together before I go to the sewing machine and sew. And that's it. I'll sew here, sew here, sew here, and leave the other side open. Now let's go and do that. That has been done, guys. This is it. This is what it looks like. So you can make your own cargo quite bigger if you want, so it's very visible. And this is it, guys. So we're going to turn it to that wrong side again, and then close up the open part of this trouser. That's the inner thigh part of this trouser. Now to close it up, make sure the crotch is facing the other crotch by crotch, facing each other equally. Then you sew it straight down and sew the other side straight down. And here it is, guys. This dress is finished. I've gone ahead to attach my zipper. I've folded the legs, the down part of the leg, everything. I've folded it. Everything is on points in this dress. So guys, that's it. And this is the zipper. I've gone ahead to attach the zipper. Now the next thing we are going to be sewing is the top, the crop top of this cargo pant. It's a 2-piece. Okay, so we'll go ahead and spread the remaining fabric, fold into 2 as usual. And if you have watched this video to this point, kindly give it a thumbs up, subscribe, like, comment especially. I love your comments, please. Okay, so I've gone ahead to fold. Now with my tape, I'm going to measure the length first. The length I'm working with is 20 inches. The average crop top length is usually 20 inches. So it's now up to you to either make it longer or shorter. So you can add inch or remove. After getting the length, the next place is the neck. The neck measurement I'm working with is 2 inches length and 2 inches width. So this is the back of this crop top. This is the back, not the front. So we are cutting the back first. Then we are going to use the back to cut the front. Okay, now over to the shoulder. The shoulder I'm working with is 14 inches divided by 2, 7. I've gone ahead to mark 7, and I'm marking my 1 inch shoulder slant. And after that, I'm going to use my ruler to slant it. The reason for the shoulder slant is because shoulder is not straight. Okay, if you keep yours straight, you're gonna end up amending it to bring it down. Now the next is the arm. The armhole I'm working with is 8 inches. I've gone ahead to mark 8 inches. So this is me covering the line. Okay, the next is shoulder to under bust, and the shoulder to under bust is 14 inches. I've gone ahead to mark 14 inches. The next is 11 inches. That's shoulder to bust point. Shoulder to nipple is 11 inches, and I've gone ahead to mark 11 inches. So I'm going to take my bust measurement on that 11 inches line, on that bust point line, and take the tummy or waist measurement on the under bust line. Okay, now your bust circumference divided by 4, whatever you get, you mark it and add extra 2 inches for sewing. The same thing with your tummy measurement. Your tummy, the roundness of your tummy circumference divided by 4, whatever you get, you add extra 2 inches or 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So I'm going ahead to cut. So this is the first part of the top, that's the back part. I'm gonna have to cut it. Now I'm spreading what is left of the fabric to now get the front of the top. Remember, the front is it's going to have buttonhole, so you're going to measure out 3 inches, just like so. 3 inches, okay, for the buttonhole, and then trace it out. So this is me cutting it. I beg, please give us a thumbs up, please, so that YouTube can recommend our videos. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna cut off the neck as well and open up this the buttonhole part. This is me opening up the buttonhole, and then over to the neck to cut the neck, and that's it. So I'm identifying it as usual because this fabric is too busy. If you don't mark your chalk, you're going to be confused on where is the back or where is the front. So now the next thing is to get the measurement of this our top. So what I'm going to do is to place the back one on the table with the right side facing up. Okay, so the wrong side is the side I did a chalk mark. So the right side does not have any chalk mark. Now I'm going to go ahead and place the 2 front parts on it, just like so. This is first half of the front part, right side facing the right side of the back. Okay, you can see they are right sides facing each other. Now the second half, I'm also going to go ahead and place it right side facing each other, okay, to get our measurements. So this is me arranging it, and after we are done, we'll start by closing up the shoulder first and then the sides, okay. And then for the open parts, we're going to be folding it to create our buttonhole space. We're going to be folding it 1.5. Remember, it was 3 inches that we removed, so we're going to be folding 1.5 to make it 3 inches. So before then, let's go ahead and measure this dress and shape this dress. So with your tape, place it on the bust line. Whatever measurement your bust circumference is, you minus that extra 2 inches you added when you were cutting. This time you're dividing by 2, not by 4. Let's say your bust is 40 inches, divide by 2 is now 20 inches. So you're going to mark 20. When you place your tape and it's 20 inches, whatever extra inches you get, you minus half of that extra inches here and half of it the other side, and that is how you get your actual 20 inches. Let's say you added 2 inches when you were cutting it, so now 20 inches, the extra allowance that will be left will be 4 inches. So you minus 2 inches here and 2 inches on the other side to get your actual 20 inches. Okay, so because this is a crop top, I didn't bother measuring the tummy. I only just measured the bust because it's not a fitted crop top. Okay, so I'm gonna have to sew it on my sewing machine. I've closed the shoulder and the sides. Now this is the zipper, the buttonhole part. I've folded it 1.5. You can see, okay, 1.5. Okay, so I'm going to run it straight and run the other one straight as well. Now let's go and do that. And here it is. I've done that already. And if you have watched to this point, kindly give it a thumbs up, okay? Or you comment or you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Thank you. Now I want to trim the shoulder further. This is because I don't want the shoulder to drop. Okay, remember the shoulder divided by 2 is 7 inches. So I'm going to now reduce it to 4 inches. We have to reduce it to 4 inches because I do not want the shoulder to drop. If you don't reduce it, it will get to the arm, almost the arm, to be like it have a little sleeve. Do you understand? So it's always advisable to trim the shoulder further. Now that has been done, the next is to get the neck measurements. Remember, it's going to have small collar stand, not the actual collar. So this is me taking the measurement for the neck, just like so. And this is 18 and small inch. Now I'm going to get the fabric and cut that exact measurement I got from the neck measurement. So I used 2 inches length for it, because by the time you finish joining it together, it's no longer going to be 2 inches. It will reduce. So I think 2 inches is advisable though. That has been done. So I'm measuring it again to be sure. Okay, this is now 20 inches. We are going to take it to 19 inches, because by the time you sew the 2 ends and fold them, it will now reduce to 18 inches. So please, when you're cutting your own, don't make it exactly what you measured. Add extra 1 inch or half inch because of sewing allowance. So I've used my gum stay to gum the fabric. I've ironed it, I've gummed it on it. Now I'm going to be illustrating how to attach the collar. Do it this way, this way, this way. You can see there's extra fabric left. Now I'm going to turn it to the wrong side. I'm going to turn it this way now. Okay, and sew here, and then sew here. By the time I'm done sewing it, it will reduce to that exact 8 inches I want. I've gone ahead to do that now. Now let's measure it again. This is exactly 18 inches. Okay, now I'm going to be placing it on this collar. So I'm placing it to be sure that is also the exact measurement with the collar. You can see there's small thing left. I'm still going to adjust it. Now I'm gonna have to adjust that, and I've attached the collar to the neck. And that's it, guys. This is super easy and super simple. We are also going to be attaching a sleeve on this crop top. Okay, now let's go ahead and do that. So I've cut the sleeve offline. I also have a video of how to cut a perfect sleeve. It's on my channel. You can check that out. I've done that. I've attached it. The only thing remaining now is to go to embroidery people so that they can open a buttonhole for me. Once they do that, I'll attach the buttons. And that's it, guys. This is so beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye. And this is me rocking the dress as usual. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.